When he walked to the box and I looked at his legs, I couldn't help but chuckle. Like, what in the freaking world is this? I judged him in Romania when Samson Dauda took first, Barus Tabani took second, and Horace MD took third as a bodybuilder.
Athletes and fans around the world, welcome to another episode of Primetime Muscle. Welcome aboard. I'm Tim Wilkins, as always, joined by these two icons of the sport, Tarek El-Guindy, the Mega Judge.
Great to be here, Tim Wilkins. This season has been amazing. It looks like a lot of great stars heading to the Mr. Olympia.
We are just a few weeks away from the Mr. Olympia at this point. It's getting closer and closer. Chris, how are you?
I am super excited to be here, Tim.
What is going on?
What, Chris?
I'm just super excited. The Olympia's coming. I'm just excited.
And Chris, I'm not sure we bought it, but it felt like you were being held captive.
Just super excited.
You're going to be blinking out to your friends and families Morse code. Save me from Primetime Muscle. Save me. It's great to see you, buddy.
You see it. Good
You
to
look
see
great.
you, man.
Are you doing the pay-per-view, the English pay-per-view?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Didn't you do it a few years back?
Yes.
Isn't that what you do?
Super tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. It was like 450 people.
You do it, Tim.
I do it. Yeah. Yeah.
So he doesn't do it, right?
No.
Okay.
It was me and Phil Heath, but I
So
know
why
you think
didn't you say you do it when you don't
I've
do
done
it?
it. I do stuff.
It looks like you
I
don't
did-
do shit.
I do stuff,
And
I
he's
did
here
the, and I
to
did the,
let you
and I did
know.
the check-ins. I did the check-ins.
It does look like Chris belongs to a country club now.
I
You
did
look-
it. Well, thank you. there.
rich casual looks good on you, Chris.
Well, thanks. I just came off the golf course and
It looked like you were about to hand me your car keys.
I was
Don't ding it like you did last time, boy. Well, it's good to see you guys.
good to see you, brother.
So we each kind of throw our hat into the ring for topics and things we'd like to see discussed. But for the most part, Tarek does a bang-up job guiding the thoughts and things that we want to talk about as we go through the season, because you're out there and just buried in it. And you said, you sent an email out to the team and you said, hey, coming up on an episode, I really want to talk about Rubiel Mosquera. And I typed back, who? And you said, Nexzilla. Oh, Nexzilla, sure. I mean, you may as well have said Chinadu Obieka at that point. Andrew Jack. I mean, nobody knows him as Rubiel. You do.
Rubiel
You're the only one that knows
Mosquera.
Rubiel.
Rubiel Mosquera.
Well,
That's my guy.
Nexzilla won his Olympia qualification at Portugal?
He won,
Prague.
No, first he
No.
won the show in Italy.
Yes.
And then he went to Portugal and he won the show there
Portugal.
as well. I'm head judging the show in Portugal. Great event. Congratulations, promoter João. It was my first time looking at this dude. And I had talked to a lot of people and they said it's abnormal. When he walked to the box and I looked at his legs, I couldn't help but chuckle. Like, what in the freaking world is this? The legs just looked abnormal. The calves. I mean, I hate to say this. There's classic physique guys that don't have legs as big as his calves. His legs are monstrous. We have never seen anything like it in the history of bodybuilding. If he gets an upper body to match the lower half, we are looking at the biggest freak in the history of bodybuilding.
Tell us about the freak, Chris.
I've been waiting for this day. Can I get a shot? Come on in here. Come on here, guys. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Because every time I brought his name up, people thought, oh, Chris, here you go again. Here you go again. But I saw this guy close up, got to know him for the last couple of years. And if you know his background, And most of us in America, we're born around gyms. We're born around different things that it wouldn't be that hard to understand why he looks the way he looks. But let me tell you, there's no gyms around his home. There's no gyms in the city where he grew up. How he grew up on a farm, they're raising pigs, chickens, they have cows, they're making their own ranch. He grew up on a ranch. So there's no gyms nearby.
So he's been squatting cows for the last 20 years.
Well, I mean, when they make us slaughter and they go to sell the meat to the people in the city, they carry it. They carry the meats into the city. So if you know, the first bodybuilder was from Greece, and he carried around this calf and that was the whole thing, that he carried this thing day after day, and he became this bigger person. But this is what he did. So carrying meats into the city, that's how he got the calves, that's how he got the legs.
Literal calves from the calves.
Because no one else in his family has that same look like he does. But he looked like a bodybuilder at 16, 17 years old without lifting a weight. So if you fast forward to the COVID, when COVID started is when he started training with weights.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. So when he started training with weights, they thought he was going to be a power lifter because he looked so powerful. So he didn't even have the look he have now until 2 years ago. But before that, he had no mind-muscle connection, none of that going on. He was just lifting, bench pressing, and everything like this. But think about that. He's one of the best in the world right now.
After 2 years of serious lifting.
2 years of serious lifting and knowing, okay, I need to push like this, I need to pull like that. That's only been the last 2 years. So if you know, before that, he started competing, but he didn't have the body he has now. He was legs and neck. So now he's coming in with all these different other body parts, but he's coming more and more. And when people, it was a big commotion when he turned pro. He took a third with some of the best guys in the world. He beat Nathan Diasher that day, and it was like he put the world on notice. But then, it kind of fizzled down and fizzled out to where it's like he was skipping shows. And I was telling people, I said, he just don't understand what he needs to do, how he needs to do it. And that was the biggest issue. His lack of experience. He's getting more experience now.
That's crazy.
He's up in his game in the nutrition, up in his game in the gym, up in his game doing all the different nuances it takes to be a great bodybuilder. But I was telling people, don't sleep on Rubiel. Don't sleep on Rubiel. This guy just don't understand. Because even when he turned pro, I'm telling him, bring his arm down. Scoot over here with the rest of the guys. He didn't know all that when he was going against the best guys in the world. So just watch. Give him more time. This guy will be pushing for the big title in the world.
Well, let's take a look at him. And Tarek, you start us off. Of course, now with this awesome backstory, we realize there may have been at some point a balance issue, but the arms, shoulders, and chest in that are pretty dang impressive.
Oh yes, and and coming to Dubai for the second time in a row here, and people still, it's a conditioning thing. It's about being on stage, getting the stage time. That's what's going to get the definition in the lower half. And now you're starting to see the balance is starting to come. Now you're starting to see utilizing the body in the most effective way. That's what's going to make him a champion.
Tarek, what are we looking at here, Judge?
We're looking at the biggest legs in the history of bodybuilding. Nobody in the history of bodybuilding has had legs like this. So, just to keep it in perspective, bodybuilding, the Mr. Olympia has been happening since 1965, okay? We have record of all the winners and a lot of people that have competed. We have Tom Platt. We are now experiencing in 2025 the bodybuilder with the biggest legs and calves. What does that mean? That never in the history of our sport, from waist down, have we seen anything bigger. That's why I'm telling you, you cannot ignore this guy, Rubiel Mosquera. You cannot ignore him. You cannot tell me, oh, he's just a mass monster. Oh, he just has one body part. No, half of his body is the biggest we've ever seen. The second thing is, which is I agree with Chris, he's getting better. From Italy to Portugal, his posing got better, his conditioning has been getting better, and I think his upper body is starting to match his lower body. If, Tim, I'm not afraid to say this, okay? I think this guy can win the Olympia, okay? I'm telling you right now. I think Rubiel Mosquera could be Mr. Olympia. What he brings to bodybuilding is something we have never seen before. We have never seen before.
It is shock and awe when you see him in person. And that's what I was trying to get through to people. I've seen him. I broke bread with him. We've trained. We've slept. We got up. We did cardio. I've seen striations in this guy's quads. And people don't understand that it's only a matter of time before he displays all that on the stage. And check this out. The legs are getting more and more shapier, more and more shape to them as he competes. And you start to shed off that excess water and such that's keeping this flooded. I mean, think about the cardio. Think about the rubbing going on.
The chafing alone.
The shape, yeah.
Well,
you got to give him first place for that alone.
He's got to have a sponsor, man. Some kind of a gold bond or something. He'd be the first one.
And the back is improving.
Well, Chris,
and they were saying that the waist is big, but check this out. When he started to pose, there is no waist that you're looking at. You're looking at the mass shock of this guy's physique.
I got to ask you, and the waist is gone on the back pose, which shows that
Right.
you're right. So we always tell these younger guys, maximize your potential before you think about doing anything else to overcome any obstacles. When you see a guy that literally just started lifting weights and machines and doing bodybuilding movements 5 years ago, seriously competing and posing 2 years ago, what kind of huge leaps is this guy seeing?
Tim, we were in Spain, and a couple of years ago, we were in Germany, just before Spain. He said, show me how to do some chest. Because the way he was doing it, he was just moving his arms.
Yeah.
But to get that connection with your chest and utilizing your chest when you do some of these exercises, only then when you start to bodybuild. But what I seen, Tim, was about time we got to Spain and we did a back movement here and Breon was going rep for rep and everything. When he finished that workout, his back looked like it doubled before my eyes. And I was like, oh, this guy can do something.
How old is Rubiel?
28, 29 years old.
You
28,
may be
29
calling
years
one
old.
right here.
Yeah, and you know, it's like Neil Darwin, right? We saw Neil Darwin last year at the Olympia as a classic physique. You look at his waist and you said it's inevitable. He's going to gain mass, he's going to learn about conditioning, and he's going to be a guy that's going to be in the Olympia for many years to come. This is inevitable. He has a amount of mass that no one can contain. Let me tell you, Nathan, Bruno, all these guys in Portugal and in Italy, they couldn't even stand next to him. He was in a different category. Now look at the arms. Tell me, those are small arms? I don't think so.
Because people try to ridicule him for they're not long arms. It's just going to be a matter of time that he bring out more of the triceps. Does make that a complete arm. But the bicep itself is, a lot of people don't have biceps like that. They don't. So Rubiel, as he started to compete more and more, I mean, he comes from humble beginnings. It's not like,
Obviously.
And you put that with people who's super hungry. You got the Dinos of the world. They don't come from a whole lot of money, but then let them taste blood in the water and let them get on stage and where they can make a lot of money. I can see this guy winning the Arnold Classic next year.
So, you know, we're always, it's getting old, people, the golden era. Oh, no one looks like they used to. Someone was just talking the other day about how there's no cuts in the peak and there's no peak and there's no striations of the biceps anymore. You've already got a great peak work in there and it's already striated and it's already split at the top.
And look at this guy's legs. You talk about look at the definition on the sides. The striations going down the quad. The glutes get striated. The hamstrings are tight. And just a matter of time before the quads can show the striated outer quads here, and I'm telling you, I've seen him do leg extensions. You can see the striations, so it's only a matter of time.
And, Chris brings up a good point. If he was 39 years old, we had seen him throughout his career, yeah, maybe there's not a lot of time or space to grow. But he's 26, 27, right?
Yeah.
And he hasn't had the opportunity to enjoy the full scope of bodybuilding.
Right.
Great eating, great supplementation,
He just getting the food down.
great gyms. And then again, because he grew up poor, and I know what it is because I see a lot with Ramon. Once you start getting those checks after the show, right? You go to the promoter gives you a check of 15 grand. And your entire life, you couldn't make that in a year.
Right.
You go, hold on.
Right.
Now I'm going to win every show. That gives you the motivation to come in even more conditioned. Imagine him now looking at Dubai and going 140,000. Looking at his family in Colombia and saying, guys, I can fix us up for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Let me squeeze this conditioning.
Especially in Colombia.
Get that money from Dubai, take it to Colombia, and he changes his life. Imagine him just thinking of the money of winning an Olympia, 600 grand.
And I know people saw him skipping shows last year, and they lost what they were thinking. Maybe just a bus. But think about this guy learning more, getting a little hungrier, learning more. Then he goes to show himself this year. He's qualified for the Olympia. Now we're going to see him in Las Vegas. And I'm telling you, I've seen so much promise in this guy's physique that I'm with you on that. He can win the Olympia.
I'm going to tell you this.
He can win the Olympia
To
one day.
all of you guys that are discounting Nexzilla as a great bodybuilder, you are wrong. He's now won 2 pro shows, and he's going to the Mr. Olympia. He's a great bodybuilder, Tim.
There you have it. And you can hear his family back home in Colombia saying, Rubiel, pones las vacas aquí. Go al gimnasio.
Vámonos, Rubiel, vámonos!
¡Vámonos!
All right, Rubiel, we're looking forward
Igualmente.
to the future for you in pro bodybuilding and seeing you on that Olympia
Muy
stage
malo.
this year, your very first year qualifying for the O. And he's reaching out to us right now to say gracias. We got a guy that changed divisions this year, and we're really excited for what he's going to bring to this year's Mr. Olympia. We're going to talk about that when we come back on Primetime Muscle.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Weider, Olympia Finals, start now!
All right, we're back, and we're talking about Horse MD. That is Marcelo De Angelis from Brazil. Guys, he made a really big decision at the beginning of the year to change divisions. I never like to say drop down, move up. It's just a change in strategy, and it paid off right away.
Yes, so here's one thing. I remember going to Brazil and talking to some of these guys. Look at the classic physique category. Let me bring you history to the table. All the champions in the classic physique category have turned pro as bodybuilders.
Oh, wow.
Danny Hester has turned pro as a middleweight at the Nationals. Breon Ansley has turned pro as a middleweight at the USA's.
Right.
Yellow Trunks.
Right.
And Chris Bumstead has turned pro at the North Americans as a heavyweight. All of them have transitioned from bodybuilding to classic. There has never been a classic physique guy that turned pro as classic to win the Mr. Olympia. What does that tell you? What tells me is that the bodybuilders that transition to classic bring a level of density that we have not seen from the guys that turned pro in classic. Another guy that turned pro as a bodybuilder, Terrence Ruffin. So I looked at Horse MD and I said, Horse, why don't you do classic? And these guys looked at me and go like, no, that's dishonorable. I will never go down from another. You know, it's like, what? Just try it. Just try it. He tried it one time, was a disaster. He didn't make weight. And then this time, he did the diet, came in looking good. He wasn't looking really good on the internet. Some of those pictures, he was looking like quite downsized. I'm like, yeah, it looks like you're going to make weight, but it doesn't look like you're going to bring your best. He goes into Portugal, and he's not at his best. I judged him in Romania when Samson Dauda took first, Barus Tabani took second, and Horse MD took third as a bodybuilder. Dude, as a bodybuilder, he took third to Barus and Samson.
Those backstage pictures of the striations and his conditioning were insane.
Correct.
Romania.
So I'm like, you have a career as a bodybuilder. Maybe I was wrong the whole time. Well, it turned out that he shows up in Classic in Portugal, and he looks freaking humongous among the Classic physique guys. He looks huge, and that is exactly what Chris Bumstead has done his entire career. His legs looked outrageous. His arms looked big. Everything was there. So I think this is the right move for him. He also talked about health. He was very open. He goes, I know what it takes to be an open bodybuilder. I've been there. I've been on stage with Samson and Barus. I don't want to go there. I'm going to downsize, go to Classic. You got to admire something like that.
Absolutely.
Well, gave us something to talk about since you talked about every damn thing there is to talk about. But anyway, I kind of thought you would because you didn't want me to talk about Scalegate that you was a part of.
I knew you were going to talk about
I
scale.
knew you didn't want me to talk about Scalegate.
Scalegate.
That's why you didn't want me to talk about it.
Go, let's talk about
Well,
Scalegate.
you were a part of Scalegate, right?
I was part of Scalegate.
So what happened with that? How much did he weigh?
The Scalegate is he came in Rio de Janeiro to make weight, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And we read the number that he needed to
And
make.
you whispered to him.
We're like, you need to be 113 pounds. And people said, oh, that's him saying the number that he weighed. No, that's the number that he should weigh. So this whole Scalegate came through, and then he said, oh, no, Tarek now disqualified him. No, I didn't disqualify him. He just didn't make weight.
What about the bribes and the hookers?
None of them came my way. What's up with that, guys? What's up with that? I don't get any of that. You know
That's what
I
we
mean?
heard. That's what we heard.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I knew you were going to do something.
I had to.
So, what do you think of him dropping down?
I think it is the class for him, honestly. You can see the striations in the quads. Like, that's what I love about bodybuilding, like seeing the muscle being like in the form the way the muscle should be, not something that's manufactured in the bathroom or something like that. Those are from the gym. I mean, I spoke with him a little bit. He was in Mykonos recently, which is great. I was in Mykonos 12 weeks out from Olympia, my best form ever. So he may be on the way to his best form ever. He's now going to Dubai to do some training there to start out his prep. And then I guess, I don't know if he's going to stay in Dubai or go back to Brazil, but he's looking great right now. I feel like the physique that he shows in the Classic is way more effective than it was in the Open. What do you think?
I agree, and I really like Derek was saying, I like his mindset behind it. I know what it takes to be an open bodybuilder, and for the sake of my future, my family, and my physique, I'm going to go to a more comfortable place that is I wouldn't even begin to say easier to obtain or retain, but for his physique, it's a more comfortable zone for him. I don't know, comfortable. There's no comfort to it.
I want to ask Chris a question. Chris,
Yes.
on a scale of 1 to 10, if bodybuilding supplementation was 10, how much of a drop would be bodybuilding supplementation at Classic? 7, 6,
8.
8.
8?
Still, I mean,
Men's
it's
physique
very
and men's physique? 6?
Careful.
6.5, 7.
Thank
What
you.
about fit model?
You better not take an aspirin because you're gonna be overweight. You're gonna be overweight if you take an aspirin. But anyway, I'm not gonna go there today. You tried to trip me up with
I'm
that
not
one.
going there either. I know my Latin, and persona non grata will be my new name if I go after that division. No, I do appreciate though all of his mindset. His body was perfect to just not be forcing the top, but to just go where the shreds are.
What's his strengths?
He's got monsters, great legs, relatively small waist. He hits the vacuum great. He's got big ass arms. His side chest is great. His front double biceps is great. His back double biceps is not great. His abdominals and thighs is great. So he needs to fix the back double biceps. B-roll back double biceps Portugal show.
In the classic division, you need a back.
It's
you
the
need a
only
back.
back shot.
Yeah, so you need a back double bicep. He's okay with the last spread, but just looks thin to me from the last spread also. But you need to develop the back. You only got the front double, side chest, back double, ab shot, and a classic shot.
Well, listen. Chris Bumstead didn't have the greatest back when he won his first Olympia.
Do tell. I know
No,
that.
you do tell.
I do tell a lot. That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm excited. So this without Chris at the top of the food chain there, being a blocker for that title or trying to fend off all these guys, there's a couple guys I'm wondering. I'm wondering if Ramon and Urs are going to be able to make weight. Have you seen any of the Urs pictures in the last 2 or 3 months?
Hanging around that Marcus Rule guy.
That's what he looks like. He looks like
He looks just like a little baby Marcus
Baby
Rule.
Marcus. He is massive.
Baby Marcus.
Yeah.
It is. That's exactly what I was thinking when I saw them two hitting the crab like Marcus did.
Just thick.
Yeah, so I don't know how far he was under the weight, but was he pretty close before? I'm not sure. how
Aren't
much
these
he
guys
was
all
weighing.
pretty close, even with the
Well,
jockey?
Urs was one of those guys that he could add some. Urs was one of those guys because he's quite tall. But that doesn't mean
But the look.
because he looks like a freaking German bison right now.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, the look of that, I mean, classic and bodybuilding, open bodybuilding, he's looking like he's bringing on more of an open bodybuilding look. When I think the classic is way more defined and diced out and separated and everything
But
like
size,
that. So I don't know.
size also, listen, size matters in categories, right? I mean, of course, bodybuilding is the ultimate size. But listen, there are
if they're going-
factors you need to grow your back. Horse MD, he needs size on that back.
Right.
You know, it's just not detail, it's size and width.
Right. You're right.
But when you
some
look at
back.
those guys, so when Ramon hits that double with that back bicep, the shape and the striations, the overall design of the arms is so beautiful. You got to be able to keep up with that. When it drops down into that upper mid to lower lat, it's just a really detailed, separated group.
That's what helped Breon Ansley so many years.
Yeah.
He got a crazy back, crazy arms.
One of
And
the
that's-
greatest
yeah.
classic physique backs, Breon Ansley.
Yeah.
The key question is, now you got guys like Horace with
Huge.
tremendous leg development, right? Sommerfeld has big legs. Breon
And
Ansley,
Branch Chin. Don't forget about Branch.
yeah, who plays?
Branch Chin has
look,
huge
look,
legs.
Look at those legs.
The shape is beautiful. Was this Portugal?
This was Portugal,
Okay.
yeah.
And then look at, I mean, just not only the striations and the shape and the size, but that's going to make his waist smaller. That's bringing out some stunning obliques and abs. If back is all he's missing, then that's going to be his shoulders aren't as big as capped off as Urs, Ramon, Grego, Logan's right now are massive, his shoulders.
Striation and just big, right?
Yeah.
But also the shape of it. Look how it's like boom, boom. That's the classic look of a leg that is pure leg. There is no funny business going on with that leg. And, improving a little bit more the middle of his abs. The serratus is strong. Improve the middle of the abs in this shot. And also a little bit more delts, I think. If you can get some more popping delts on the side, that's going to help
Look at the
whole
front
thing.
double bicep. That's a great front double biceps.
Yes, good shape. He has a huge rib cage, and I love that. For a guy that pulls a vacuum, you want a nice round rib cage. Some people have a pointy one. Some people pull a rib cage and they should not because it's not good for their physique to show that. This guy is textbook what you want out of a vacuum.
No, he's going to hit a little bit of a brick wall with the arms of Sommerfeld, Ramon, Breon, Logan. Yeah, they've got some massive arms.
Well, nobody has bigger arms than Ramon, right? Ramon has arms. He can give arms to Ukraine. He can give arms to everywhere. Stealing a joke right here from Tim Wilkins. One of the best things about working with a comedian, you can just steal his jokes.
They're right there for the
You know
layup.
what I mean? But I do think he's got great arms. Tim, do you think he doesn't have good arms?
He does have he has great arms for his physique.
What do you think about those trunks?
Well, listen, I don't know what to do anymore. We started with the trunks here.
Yeah.
And every year they keep going up.
But his
I
are a
don't
good
know.
size. They're smaller ones than this dude.
I was judging. Where was I judging? Was it Mexico or UK?
Probably Mexico.
And I think it was in Classic Physique. Well, I'm trying to think. No, it was in the UK. And I had to tell the expediter, man, you need to ask the Classic Physique guy to pull his trunks out of his
butt?
crack. It's
Why do they do that,
dude,
man? It's like,
come
on,
guys,
man.
You can show your glutes and everything. We see them
Without the
You don't-
G-string.
He was straight up putting up there.
Well, when you're smuggling crack in Tijuana, you're part of the Cartel Classic.
It was disturbing, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, you don't have to do that. I think,
Is that the new generation or
and
what?
that's one of the things. Listen, as a federation, we allow the competitor to express his individuality through his posing, through his posing trunks. It's who we are as an organization. We want people to be independent, you pick your color, you pick your design and this and that. But do not go overboard that you put us in a position that we need to tell you, hey, bro, get it out of your crack.
If you're watching at home,
We don't-
kids, get it out of your crack.
No more crack.
No more crack.
Crack is bad.
We're excited to see what Horse MD brings. This is his first year. Did he ever qualify for the Open?
No, he placed second in Spain to Akeem Williams in bodybuilding.
Yes.
So the guy was a really good bodybuilder. Placed second, third. Now he goes to Classic and wins. It's awesome.
So we will see him for the very first time at this year's Olympia. We want to know your thoughts, not just on Nextzilla, also on Horse MD. So share your thoughts, like, subscribe, of course. Tell your friends about the show. It'd be interesting to see what you tell your friends. But thanks as always for joining us. We couldn't do this show though, guys, without our friends at Global Formulas. Jacob Frank and the very, very scientifically created formulas that he uses for maximum absorption, maximum uptake, and for their exact purposes, Tarek, like repair.
Yeah, he has a selection, a great portfolio of products. BioHeat is a tremendous thermogenic. A lot of people taking for their diet. You have the Repair CTF. You have here the Endure. And then you have, which is your favorite, the Super Freak.
Super freaky.
Chris Cormier used to go to the clubs with Colombia coffee in his system. Now he goes and takes Super Freak. That's how good this stuff is.
Oh, shit.
But I'm going to mention this. This is always going to be my favorite. Why? Because you're in the final days of your preparation. you want to make sure that everything you intake is clean, clear. This protein here has 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 fat, and 0 cholesterol. Your coach tells you you need a certain amount of protein without any fat, without any sugar. There is no other protein in the market that's going to offer this, and that's why I'm a fan of Global Formulas. I know Jacob Frank. He's been in the business for a long time. He has created the best protein in the business.
There you have it. You said 40. You said he'd been in the business 40 years at one point, and I got a nasty text from him.
And
He said, "Bro, I'm only 44." As always, we thank you for joining us here on Primetime Muscle. Chris Cormier, it is good to have you back as
Thank
always.
you, my man. Thank you, brother.
Tara Kilgindy, I got to be careful. I never know what watch you're wearing. Folks, thank you for joining us as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Primetime Muscle.